is out to win you over with the 67 Valiant. As easy on your pocketbook as it is on your eyes.
What's up, YouTube? A little update of the Valiant. It's been about 2 years and 8 months since I got it, and it looks the same. There's a few changes. The door lock had to be replaced on the passenger side, wouldn't lock. The radiator was cracked near the cap, had to get that welded. Water pump, had to replace that. And all the hoses, tranny cooler lines. When I took the radiator out, I had to fix the tranny cooler line that I broke. So I ghetto rigged it right here. Had to do what I had to do. What else? Since I got it, had to rebuild the 1-barrel carburetor. The locking gas cap got stolen. Had to replace that. I want to get rid of it altogether because it's ugly. That was all the boring stuff. Fun stuff, I got new wheels and tires. I need wheel adapters on the rears because I didn't have the right bolt pattern. I'm gonna get a different rear end, so that'll be the correct bolt pattern for the wheels. I got performance control arms in the front and disc brakes in the front too. Yep. Disc brake conversion was probably the most stressful and difficult thing so far. I actually broke the wheel hubs trying to do it. So my car was non-op for like a month trying to get all the parts. Even got my tool stuck in the wheel.
Oh, it's gonna come off the jack.
But we got it out. It kind of messed up the inside of the wheel a little bit, but you know, it's all good. Let's see, got an electronic distributor. Also took the AC out. Oh yeah, and I got some performance torsion bars. That kind of helps with the body roll. Some thick, thicker than 1 inch torsion bars. Even lowered it by the torsion bars a little bit and got 1 inch lowering blocks. I mean, it's significantly lower than stock, but I might want to go a little lower in the future. Apparently it's too low. As you can see, my door isn't closed. Just today, some kid broke it. The car was scraping into some dirt, and instead of closing the door, he left it open as I was reversing. So then it caught onto the dirt and then bent the door hinge so it wouldn't close at all. But I had to kind of force it closed. But you know, stuff happens, I'll get that fixed. Updated the interior a few months ago. I just uploaded a video of the before and after, so you might want to check that out. Like, comment, subscribe. We got an aftermarket stereo. The previous owner put in an aftermarket stereo unit, but it didn't have the aux cord, so I had to replace one for one with the aux cord. Got a color bar, dances with the music when I'm driving. A nice little touch that lowrider guys usually have. You don't usually see these in Mopars. This is supposed to be a door that closes, and you're supposed to open it when you want more air. It's kind of like a ghetto AC. It works on this side, but it broke off on that side. I still got the door. I might get that repaired. Has it been reliable in my almost 3 years of ownership? Yeah, it's been good. I mean, if my friends were to hear me say that, they'd probably laugh and say that it's giving me lots of problems and stuff because it's been non-op multiple times, but only for small reasons like maintenance. Like the 1-barrel carburetor sucked, had to rebuild that. Stalled on me a few times before it was rebuilt. Took that to get rebuilt. It was leaking coolant like crazy, leaving a puddle of coolant wherever it went when I parked. But the water pump was bad and all the hoses were cracked. But once I replaced that, it was all good. I mean, working on this is super easy. Like, I was able to do a lot of the stuff myself, though I did have to go to the shop for a few things. One of the biggest reasons that I'd be stranded was before I got electronic ignition. This had points ignition, and it had a bad ballast resistor, so the points would always die out real quick after replacing the points. Besides that, it's been good. Leaks oil a little bit, but I think it's from the oil pan gasket. That's easy. I mean, it's been real cool daily driving a 50-year-old car. I mean, she's ugly, but she still breaks necks and gets thumbs ups. It's cool because people in my neighborhood know me because of my car. I've talked to a lot of people and met a lot of neighbors while working on it, parked on the street. I don't have a garage to work on it, so I do all the work on the street. I've gotten a lot of offers on it. I got 4 guys' numbers saved on my phone that want to buy it. I mean, I tell them it's not for sale, but that doesn't really stop them. Then I got people that ask me, why a Valiant? I mean, I know they're not cool cars. Like back in the day, these were granny cars. They just got you from point A to point B, grocery getters. But I like it because it's not a cool car. I mean, I like Challengers, 70s Challengers and 60s Chargers, Roadrunners and stuff like that. But those are always cool. Like, you always see those. Like, how cool would it be to make a granny car cool? And it's not like a modern day granny car where it's like front wheel drive or 4-door. It's still a pretty good recipe. It's lightweight, under 3,000 pounds, 2-door, rear wheel drive. It has a pretty decent suspension. When upgraded, you could do some damage on the track. This car is an old man magnet. At gas stations, I hear stories from people saying, oh, I had one of these in high school. I learned how to drive in one of these. I had a wagon version of one of these. Seeing it made her feel like a little girl again. Asked me if I had a slant 6 engine still in it. I said, yeah. And she said, bless you. The slant 6 engine is notorious for its reliability. I trusted its reputation enough to buy it 200 miles away from my house. So a friend drove me up to Gorman, California in the Grapevine. And I drove it back all the way to San Diego, about 200 miles from there. A car I've never seen before, and it worked out just fine. And it's been pretty good to me. My goal was and still is to build the world's coolest 67 Valiant. So stay tuned.